To the fact that Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the proscribed group, IPOB, he didn't take long for them to grab him from the same Kenya and get him down to Nigeria, and he's facing justice now. That's why it's like a case of we're following process, diplomatic channels, etc., etc.
Believe you me, I want to tell you I don't know what you are talking about. All I know...
It seems not to know exactly what we are talking about here.
No. You are bringing an issue that Interpol is not aware of. Let me define the role of Interpol so that you can understand. Interpol is an international police organization that assists law enforcement agencies within the 196 countries to look for a fugitive that runs or is hiding. And if you look at all the other fugitives that are brought to face justice in Nigeria, they have the link, those who are involved with Interpol. So I don't know I don't want to talk about issue of Kanu, who brought him back to Nigeria. I'm not aware how he was brought back to Nigeria or how he came into Nigeria. Interpol is not aware. We stated this long time ago, and we made it categorically clear. So it's not a question. There are what we call police-to-police relationship, international police cooperation. Another police, it does not necessarily bring Interpol.
Okay.
If one police and another exchange, a suspect is running from them, they can have an international police cooperation that out of the scope of Interpol.
Okay.
However, if a notice is given to an individual, like blue notices, when the inmates in Kuje prison escaped, we did a biometric capture of those suspects, and we shared it with international communities. We shared it with our law enforcement agencies. Many of them were reapprehended because we have their biometrics. Now, in the issue of red notice, where a red notice is issued under the federal court that issued that notice of arrest, that is warrant of arrest for such international. It will go to the Interpol, we'll process it, we'll look at it, we'll look at the charges, and then we'll issue a red notice. On that red notice, we bring back the culprit to face justice because all the 196 countries will be looking for that individual.
We'd sincerely like to thank you, retired Assistant Inspector General of Police, Garba Umar, who is currently the Vice President of Interpol Africa Region. Thank you, sir, for coming on the News Hour.
Topic is concerning Interpol. They are saying they did not participate in the rendition of the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, from Kenya in 2021. And that particular denial was given by the Vice President of Interpol Africa, Garba Umar, during a television interview, specifically on News Central Television. What's your take on that? So if Interpol was not involved, then who did?
That will tell you the way they are looking at Nigeria. You know, all these lies is an embarrassment on his own.
No. Who is lying? Wait, Barrister, I want to clarify something. Who is lying? Interpol or the Nigerian government? The Nigerian government said it was in collaboration with Interpol.
Interpol, in fact, they are 110% right. If Interpol were to be involved, they will tell you. They will be the ones to even hand over Nnamdi Kanu to the Nigerian government. They were never involved. But they wanted you to look as if they carried a system follow due process. Remember, that was one of the reasons why the United Nations was angry with the Buhari government. They wrote a letter concerning that revision. And that is one of the reasons our courts here have condemned it. So they are not trying to make it look good that what they did was all right, that they followed due process. That's why they are lying all over the place.
So if Interpol...
But the people have come to clarify themselves because if you tarnish their image, that's a criminal offense.
But there is something...
If they do not clarify themselves, Interpol will not look like a rogue organization.
There is something that Umar Garba said. He says, I want to read out a quote. He says, there are what we call police-to-police relationship, international police cooperation, but that it doesn't necessarily bring Interpol. So if one police and another exchange that a suspect is running from them, they can have an international police cooperation, and that is out of the scope of Interpol. Can you help me clarify what that statement means?
They are trying to play tell you the scope of the operation. Nigerian government never contacted Interpol about Nnamdi Kanu. Pure easy. Don't go further. They were never contacted about Nnamdi Kanu because they will ask questions.
So why would the government say it was through Interpol that they extradited him or that they renditioned him? Why would they use? Why would that make that as an official statement?
They want to make it look good that they follow the due process. That's what I'm telling you here. They want to cover the first lie with another lie. That was why Interpol came out, because their name has come up. And they need to clarify themselves.
That's what the law says. Anybody standing in trial or coming to try me is a terrorist. That's what their law says. Not me.
As simple as that.
Section 2, subsection 3F of Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act. That's what it says. Any court considered to try me is committed an act of terrorism.
Yes.
Very clear. You cannot violate a treaty that Nigeria entered into and then come to try that very person. Is not done anywhere in the world. So you must be aware of that. So that is why there is all these ridiculous delays. That is what Supreme Court said. I did not jump bail. My home was invaded. They came to kill me and I survived. They came to Kenya to kidnap me, brought me back to this country and seeking to try me, which the law says cannot happen. You cannot violate a treaty that Nigeria entered into and then hope to stand on that illegality to conduct a trial. Is not done anywhere in the world. And it happened in my case. Nobody had, there's no exception. No exception whatsoever. That's what the law says. Section 12 of the Constitution, what does it say? Any treaty ratified by Nigeria becomes law. It's law. You cannot change it. It doesn't matter what they do. All these shenanigans is just pure rubbish. You never stand. Not with me. I believe in justice and fairness, that's all.
Nigeria signed to extradite, not to rendition.
All right, I greet you, lovers of freedom. If today is the first time of coming across our channel and you like the way we are propagating this gospel of freedom, please kindly subscribe, like, and share. We are here to set the record straight. We are here to speak that bitter truth without fear or favor. All right, quick one. You all have seen how it is they play between Nigeria versus MNK and Biafra. You know, when all these things started, when the news broke that MNK was in Nigeria, I said, what? When they were, talking how they arrested MNK, as they were not that bold enough to say this was how we arrested him. So after all said and done, we came to realize that MNK was kidnapped and renditioned to Nigeria. I went to Ejiofor Twitter handle, their X handle, and I said, with the way MNK was forcefully brought back to Nigeria, that the ethics of law implies that, one, Nigeria has violated, in fact, this is just kidnapping, because I never followed the due process of bringing him back. There is no need of trying MNK. There is no need of trying MNK because in law, you cannot benefit from illegality, because trying MNK is like Nigeria after committing crime. They still want to benefit from crime. There are procedures of renditioning. There are procedures of extraditing somebody back to either any country or the country that considers him as a fugitive. There are things you have to consider. You have to consider, one, if the country is a nation that believes in human rights. There are a lot of factors that must be considered or has to be put in place or considered before such a thing will take place. But in the case of MNK, he was just kidnapped. They blindfolded him, also blindfolded him with handcuff the very first day he came to Nigerian court, which is unethical. Unethical when it comes to law, unethical. I told him that Nigeria cannot benefit from illegality. Thank God that some court of competent jurisdiction in Nigeria has passed a verdict saying that they have to return MNK back from where they kidnapped him, that he was forcefully brought back to Nigeria. Look at what they are doing today. Now, DSS now is now denying. But according to Malami, they said it was DSS that arrested him with collaboration of, forgotten what he said. Look at them today, denying the of DSS. Said they are not aware. They are not aware. These are the things I'm saying, that we have to change the approach we are using to attack these guys, because we've seen that these Western nations, they know the truth, but based on what they are benefiting from Nigeria, and they know that the people who are at the helms of affairs of Nigeria are rogues, that these ones, they are ready to tread anything just to remain in power and just to be what? Looting the country. And the Western nations have seen this. So they see it as opportunity as well to them. They seize it as opportunity to them as well. So they don't care whether they are violating human rights or whether they are doing all kind of things. It's none of their business. Their business is simple. So long as they will be looting and benefiting natural resources from Nigeria, that one is okay to them. If they like, may they buy all their citizens, concern them. Moreover, they are the people championing climate change. Because if you hear climate change, you will be wondering, what is this climate change? To them, climate change, in a simple form, in a layman's understanding, the climate change they are clamoring every time they gather and talk about climate change. It's just simple. They said the population of the world is much, that they have to look for means to reduce the population. That's all. What we hear for that climate change, you'll be hearing. So to them, if their government go buy them like tomorrow no day, to them it's advantage, because they are advancing their cause, which is population reduction, and they center this thing more on Africa. So if the people who are in the helms of their affairs are buying them, to them it's a win-win. It's a win-win to them. Win-win to them. Look at how they are messing themselves up. In this kind of case, say you have to cover the person's face. Where? But you've been going around the world talking, this man have done this man have done that. There are some things MNK said while broadcasting, which is about the one that they called Buhari. Upon all these things, all these testimonies, all this whatever, they've never included it in the account charge. They say he's how will I put it now? Instigating. Tell me what instigation is more than saying that the number one citizen of a country don't buy. Say they bury him in a child grave in Saudi Arabia. Why didn't they include it in the charges against him? In that aspect, they are dodging that area. They don't want to go that area at all. They don't want to go that side at all. See the way they are messing themselves up. Anyways, we are watching. You see this one where the one where they give testimony, you go testify, everybody is watching. We will see the end of all this game. We will see the end. I want you guys to listen to what this presenter said and what that our fearless brother and a lawyer, what he said about Nigeria. Please, after watching, kindly subscribe and share. Peace and love.